Hello. Welcome back. I'm back. We're back. This is Banished. This is going to be year 4. Year 4 is the year of the food. Hopefully not the year of the starvation. Last year was the year of the fucking bang and hot damn. Well, I guess 2 years ago could have been that too, mathematically. Anyway, year 4, we're just going to start it off. We got that health going down. That's not a good sign. We really need to get some food into these people. A little bit right there. Hopefully we can get some more. This is probably going to be a pretty slow episode. Not time-wise, but excitement-wise. So what we're going to do, something we haven't really done at all yet, because I like to God view everything when I play this game, instead of drone view. Let's check out what we've built so far. So we got the gatherers hut here. You can see all the little, bean boxes, plant boxes, whatever they are. We got our foresting lodge with our tower. Kind of nice little front yard, all fenced in. I like that all the buildings look the same, have the same kind of roof and stuff like that, but have very, specific details to what they are. And then you get stuff like the hunting cabin, which it's definitely very much a cabin. It's not really anything about it specifying hunting, but that's okay. And then we got just a couple houses out here. We got some students living out here, some children living out here. That's a lot of people living out here for only 2 people working. You guys gotta get your shit together. That's okay. Hopefully those students will continue to live here when they're done school, and then we'll have some educated people running these places. That'll be pretty nice. We'll come over here. We just got our line of houses. We got our storage barn. We got a little school. Little schoolhouse. You can see stuff like this on the ground. Mushrooms. That's the kind of stuff that the gatherer will pick up. I don't know if there's actually an animation. I know there's deer in the game. I don't know if there's an animation for the hunters finding a deer, killing a deer. Oh, that's going to answer our question. That was really good timing. So let's see if we can actually see some action here. Crops are going well. It's good. Got some more deer showing up. Some more deer showing up. I guess all I needed to do was ask for deer. It's a shame that we have 38 food and there's 8 deer and 3 Bambis sitting over here. Something like that. They're just chilling. They don't know there's a hunting cabin right there. Just inside the perimeter of it. Supposed to be a gatherer, just going to grab some herbs. And I'm going to be real bummed when we sit here only to watch this huge pack of deer just walk away. But I guess that's part of the game. I guess. I don't know. Oh. Nope, they were just gathering. They were just gathering. Maybe there's no animation. Maybe it's just assumed that the hunters hunt. Maybe that's why we don't have any fucking food. Maybe I got 3 people hunting, and it's fucking me, my Pepe, and my mom, and we're just sitting in the cabin drinking whiskey and playing cribbage. Maybe that's what's happening. Because these guys are just sitting here. We're already into summer. Are those beans already harvested? What in the world? How does that happen so fast? Alright, well, that's 2 people we don't need farming. We'll take them out, put them into gathering, because we need food. We need it bad. I don't know why. Literally all we're doing is trying to produce food right now. So there's definitely animations for gathering, and there definitely used to be a lot more deer over here. Looks like they probably all just took off back to their home. We're gonna have to get these pieces of iron and stone out of here so the forester has more room to work with. As you can see, he's trying to plant trees and grow trees and cut down trees, and I got a bunch of fucking rocks in his way. So we finally got an adult out of a student, so they're gonna be better at their job. I don't think there's anywhere specifically they need to go right now. Still plenty good on firewood. Good on tools, but we want to make sure we keep going on them so that we have enough for the trading post. I guess we'll put them as a forester. We do want to make sure that we're keeping up on our trees. Stone and iron for the, early part of the game we could just grab off the ground like this and use it as we need it. Doesn't really go anywhere, doesn't really get used for much else other than, stuff like the tools. Looks like this field's almost done as well. Finally starting to see a little bit of an improvement, but obviously that's because we just completely cleared 2 fields. That'll probably drop pretty soon. Or it'll finally start to build, that'll be nice. Up to 1,000. It's always nice when you don't have to worry about food. So the medicine you see here, that'll come from the herbalist once we build them. We usually build the herbalist in the hospital right around the same time. The reserve of food is low. The reserve of food has never been better, and you're going to tell me it's low. Why? Why would you do that? Alright, take these other 2 farmers out, and we will put them back in at the jobs that need to get done. And that's pretty much just how wintertime goes. When you're sitting at this kind of standstill with the population, waiting for students to get done school and whatnot. It's just spring to fall, fall to spring. It's kind of the big transition. So we got some more deer coming in. If I look at, so we have venison, which is great. And it looks like this is being used properly, all the stuff that's getting gathered. I'm pretty sure they're always going to use whatever location is closest for them. Same with how here and here are both staying, neither one's full, neither one's empty. It's because anything people are gathering over here, they're just putting directly into here, which is great. Obviously you can see there's plenty of wood here. You always want something like this to be close to something like the woodcutter, because if you zoom in and take a look, they're just going back and forth, grabbing wood, bringing it over, cutting the wood, back and forth. Same with once the wood is cut, they're bringing it back over, putting in one of the storage stockpiles, storage piles, whatever you want to call them. So food's not miserable right now, which is good. It's really where we want to see it. I do still feel like there's a lot more people working food jobs than usual, and just like that we got a couple more laborers. It's really nice. I think we want to start getting probably at least the herbalist being built. Obviously food was the big issue to start with, but the herbalist is going to help bring that 3.5 back up to 5 fairly quickly. Especially if someone's to get sick or something like that, we really don't want to have to deal with that this early in the game. So I guess the other thing we can kind of do right now, still only autumn, that's good, is find a good spot for this hospital. And like I was saying before, I think right on the water here would look pretty cool. I think what we're probably going to end up doing similar to how we did with this path here. Just kind of stretch a path out just straight down to the water here. Might even do a bridge a little later on. That'll bring us right out to almost this little peninsula. Is this an island? Oh, that is an island. It's really nice. Yeah, so we might basically build, obviously not this exact same thing, but this type of village, maybe out here somewhere. Maybe they can take a little bridge across and have this be the next hunting, gathering, forester lodge kind of area. That'll be really nice too. We'll be able to put a lot of fishing docks out all over this thing. I'm pretty sure if you can see this radius around the fishing dock, that's, you know, obviously the area of water that he's fishing, but I think if I were to put another one right next to him, they're not going to produce as much because they're both fishing the same spot. Obviously there's only so many fish in that spot. So it's good to, when you build another one, kind of like I was saying, if I build one, I'll probably go out here, and that way that radius will just stay off of this one. They'll be fishing two different locations, still both getting fish, but I'm pretty sure they get more of it, not having to fight for the food. So super quick year, early winter, didn't have to pause too many times. We'll just stick that labor as a builder. It's nice too, I always like in the winter time when we get our students becoming adults, because then when spring rolls back around and we have to put some people back into farming, we're not having to pull as many people out of other jobs, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. I'm really confused as to why this is now saying the reserve of food is low when it's finally not. Maybe it just does it anytime it drops below 1,000? I don't know. I don't know. Right. And good timing. We're just going into winter. We got the herbalist hut done. We'll pull a couple of these people out. Put them both into the herbalist hut. Again, another really cool looking building. It's got a little lanai? Is it called a lanai if it has a little, like, hatch patterns in it? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not an architect or anything. I don't, you know. But then, yeah, all these little flowers and plants that they grow to create medicine with. And that's what we were doing before. That's might not be a bad idea to get this going right now. So yeah, so if we get a path going straight out here, we definitely don't have enough room on this side of the path to build it. But we can put it on this side. We don't need to put it right next to, maybe off down a little bit. You know what, that could also be a really nice spot for a couple pastures too. Training post is right there. We don't want to be dipping too much further into this side. So maybe putting a hospital right next to the school, right in with all the houses. That's kind of a nice location. Seems rather fitting. Yeah, I think that'll be really good actually. So the other thing with these bigger buildings, as you can see up there, I can't really move because it's just going to move it, but the wood 52, the stone 78, and then iron 32, obviously a lot more than, you know, a house, which is not going to show you because the house is already built, but 16 stone, or sorry, 16 wood, 8 stone. So that's the other thing about the bigger buildings. The buildings that serve a higher purpose is they cost a lot, but now's as good a time as any to get it built. We got plenty of material to work off of. It takes 2 people to build it. We got 2 extra people. We're not going to in half a season because it's going to be spring and we're going to need to get some farmers back out there, but for now, we at least start getting trees cut down, material dropped for it. And it looks like it's going to basically wrap up episode 4, year 4. looking good so far. Nobody died of starvation this year. We had a goal. We wanted to get some food. Looks like that's finally starting to happen, which is good. So, we'll call year 4 a win. See what else we can start working towards. I feel like I always end up getting this wooded area built right off the bat. I'm sure there's probably other ways you could start building that, would be as beneficial, if not more beneficial. But I don't know, I always like that area. I like the combination of things you're getting out of that. You're getting raw material, you're getting multiple sources of food, you're getting your health. And I don't know, I like that it creates this wilderness around it too. It's not as cut and dry and grid-like as everything else that I build. So that's pretty good. This is already halfway done. It's got all its materials taken care of already. So that, we'll see if we have, maybe if somebody gets out of school, we get as many people in school as we do children right now. We're up to 21 adults. This is really good. This is, yeah, that's pretty much exactly what we wanted to do with year 4. Year 3 was kind of rough to us. We got the bounce back this year, though. So we'll take these builders out for now. Hold off on building this. We need at least 2 more. It's always weird taking them out of other food sources, so we'll take the herbalist out. That should be fine. We're maxed out on the tools. Probably going to hold off on the trading post, maybe at least for another year until we get our own colony set up. A little better. So we'll take the blacksmith out for now as well. We're going to leave that woodcutter in there just because firewood's constantly being used. Not the tools aren't, but I feel like it just gets used a lot faster. It's just easier to stay up on that and keep it maxed out. So we'll put those 4 people farming. We'll get these farms turned back on. It's becoming pretty routine for us at the end of every episode. And yeah, good year. Good year. I like that it's early spring. We still got a little snowfall coming down. Like that we got to check out a couple buildings, check out a couple more in the next episode or something. And yeah, we'll figure out a plan for year 5. Once we get that hospital up, it only needs 1 doctor, which is pretty nice. It's, kind of like the school doesn't take up a lot of your population, and it performs a really big task, such as health. Like I said, we got that herbalist built. We stuck a couple people in it just for half a year, and we're already back up half a heart. So like I said, that'll go back up pretty quickly. The health is never the difficult one once you get these buildings in place. The happiness is the one where you really want to make sure you're kind of staying up on and trying to find things to do to make your citizens happy. The 2 big ones that I'm aware of are the tavern and the church, 2 things that we haven't started yet. We might want to start those relatively soon. I know they take a lot of material, and then we would need a good source of either wheat or some type of fruit for the tavern to make beer with. So actually, we have pears, so we will want to start that orchard sooner rather than later, because it takes a couple of years for the trees to grow before they start producing any fruit, and then we want to start producing that fruit for the tavern. We can make some pear flavored beer. That sounds absolutely fucking terrible. I'm pretty sure there's something that the gathers, I think berries are another source that can be used to make alcohol. But so that, and then a church obviously gives them a place to pray. I think a cemetery as well, just because it's kind of cool too when people die in the game. They're not just dead, they actually get a little gravestone and everything. You can kind of keep track of like who your citizens were. But I think it also gives the people that are still living a place to like go and grieve, and I think that actually boosts their happiness, which is, it's kind of a cool thing. It's, always the stigma of always thinking about death as like a negative thing because it's just the next phase of life and people don't understand it. I don't know, it gets to me. It's nice to see a mechanic where happiness is produced by, you know, being able to go be with a loved one that you lost. I don't know. I think it's a positive thing. I like the idea of it. So that's pretty much going to be it. I think there's probably other ways to keep your citizens happy. Probably just keeping them close, keeping, you know, their job near them, keeping markets and trading posts and, you know, these kind of community-esque type of places. I think being educated makes them happier, so that's another way to maintain it pretty much right off the bat like we've been doing. Looks like we finally are getting a good source of leather, getting some clothes. That's really nice. I am going to stop talking now because you are sitting here looking at a pause screen, listening to me. Thanks, everyone. Later.